we're going to talk about 4 stages of group development. The first one being forming. And this is when a group of people come together around a shared idea or issue that they have concerns with or interest in. And this is when people can start to learn what are my roles and responsibilities with this group? How does this group do its work? So this is really kind of shopping the meeting. What are we going to do? When are we going to get it done? How's all that going to come together? So this is when you decide if you would like to be part of this group. Stage 2 of group development is called storming. When new groups of people come together, it's not uncommon to have times of conflict and disagreements. Conflict is natural, and you can almost count on it happening. But you can do things to help negate some of the effects of it by working together as a group to develop processes to help you get through it, such as having ground rules so everybody agrees how we're going to treat each other when we're doing our work, and having a group decision making so the group knows this is how we're going to get through our conversations and how we're going to decide what we're doing next so we can be productive. So if everybody has some buy-in on what we're going to be doing, that can help negate some of those challenging times that can come up when people are just learning how to get along and be productive. Stage 3 is called norming. This is when a group comes together and they start to act like a group. They start to identify as a group, they're communicating well as a group, they know what their group processes are, things like their ground rules are established, how do we make decisions, what are our goals, everyone is clear on that, what are we working toward. So the group, again, is starting to identify as, I know I am here and I know the work we're going to do. You may see an uptick in personal socialization here. People may want to check in with each other and just see how they're doing. So it just starting to know each other more. Basically, the group is starting to work well as a team. Stage 4 of group development is called performing, and that's exactly what is happening, performance. The group is working wonderfully as a team, they're efficient and effective, they know what their work is, so they go to work, they're on it, they're communicating together, they know each other well enough now to know what each of their strengths are, so if you need help with a specific skill or knowledge, you know who to call, or you can find out who to get a hold of. So things are getting done, things are feeling good, and this is when your team is very productive. Okay, so what does all of that mean? Well, as we know, group work is the heart of community development work. So you may want to introduce these stages that we talked about, these stages of group development, to any groups that you're working with, just to raise their level of awareness about them and that they exist and that they're normal. And then as a leader, as your group is continuing to develop their work and their role, you may feel like at some point, you may observe that they're just getting stuck. So maybe you can relate that back to a stage of development. For instance, if it was, you feel like the group is storming a little bit, perhaps you could talk to them about, well, what are some of our processes that we could take a look at and update that will help us get unstuck? Maybe we need to change our ground rules. Maybe we need to look at how we're making our group decisions. In addition, you may have a single member of your group, 1 or 2 members come, and they're feeling stuck for some reason, or they're feeling unproductive. So as you're talking with them, maybe that also could be related back to one of the stages of group development. Maybe they're not feeling like they're part of the group, or they're not clear on what the expectations are. So maybe you can look at norming and talk about, well, what are some ways that we can come up with that are going to help us fill that sense of identity so that we are all on the same page and moving forward, so all the members feel valued.